Got 7
Sergeant.
people on air now, so I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming already. We've got 9 on with us now on air, so we're here for round 6, the Red Bull Ring in Austria, Spielberg. I am with Mr. Steinschlag. Very happy for you to be returning today. I must have done a good job last time for you to be back in the seat. How's things? Are you good?
Yeah, man, thank you very much. It's, as always, an honor here to be with you, one of the best commentator out there. And it's very, very interesting track we are racing at today as well. I've done a little bit of research already about the track. So
nice.
if you are into some details, here we go. The Austrian Ring, or the Red Bull Ring, actually was built in 1967. With a different layout than it has today. The very first race was in 1970 over 71 laps. However, the very first F1 race was just after the race has been changed in 1995, 1996, by the way, that's my birth year.
Depressing.
For Formula 1. And yeah, just a few information, but
Nice.
I'm very excited for today. It's going to be very, very close.
I love that. Absolutely love that. Always nice to see a little bit of research going into the track. Love to see you getting engaged there, Steiny. Good to see. So yes, as you say, this was, I believe, if I remember rightly, I can't remember the name of it. It was a hangar, a sort of airfield to begin with.
Yes, correct. It was at the beginning. It was from 1969 until 1996. It was called Zeltweg Airfield Circuit.
That's the one.
And then Hermann Tilke.
you get the pronunciation a bit better than I can, I think.
Yeah,
Not a clue.
One.
While we've been on here, I'm actually on board with Warrior Huntsman, who's just gone into his first hot lap. So obviously it's not a very big lap. You're looking at about a minute. Today I'm looking for a time. It's nice and sunny in the qualifiers today, so I'd imagine that we're going into the 104s pretty quick. On the softs, as we can see, Warrior Huntsman will have a little look to see if he is, and anything under 104 I would say is a very good lap, and he's going to be well up there. Luis Coelho at the moment, the only man on mediums. Just following
Shadow Moody.
Shadow Moody, did he get out of his way? Oh, I don't think he quite did, and that's going to affect Warrior's time without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
I don't think that Shadow Moody is aware that Warrior Huntsman is actually on a fast lap, and he has just...
Oh, it's not... yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I was going to say it's Luis Coelho, but it isn't. And as I just flick back to Warrior, it looks like he's had some problems and he was off the side, so that might come into play later on. McConey, however, sets the fastest lap, 105. What is Warrior doing? He's just stopped on track there. That's not advisable either. Things can go wrong.
Okay, so I'm just watching Shadow Moody. He also set a time. That means that both went on a fast lap, on a flying lap. Right. But Shadow Moody was on his 7.8, which is... it's not the fastest in Austria. It's very unfortunate here unfortunate start here for Warrior's Huntsman, but he still has 50 minutes time. At the meantime, as I was just talking, Shadow Moody just validated his lap time as well.
Yeah, I'm on board with Murphy at the moment, who has just set the fastest sector 1. Kogataz, he has done really well since coming back in. A little bit on Kogataz, he went for a little while and returned to CRL to have another go. He obviously enjoyed himself first time round, and we were very happy to have him back. He, in round 5 last week in Russia, in Sochi, he came 3rd.
Looks good.
Yeah, and had a really good... Speaking of Sprunky, I will flick on to Sprunky, will I? No, I'll let Murphy finish his lap first. Or did he finish his lap? They go that fast.
He did finish his lap. He went 3 seconds faster than Kogatas and has a 4.40 and on pole position at the moment.
Sorry, that's Sprunky. Murphy we were on board with. I've just jumped back on just to see him going into 5th there with a 105.2. I will go and have a little look at Tomo Tip Top, see how he's going in his hot lap. We'll follow him on board. So a little bit about last week. We had the first two, so Sprunky and Warrior Huntsman were the first and second. Oddly enough, they represent AlphaTauri and Ferrari, respectively, so Ferrari even, and they are 1-2 in the Constructors' Championship, so we've obviously got them not solely to thank, of course. They've got their teammates in tiers 2 and 1, but certainly putting some points on the board and helping with their constructors, as I say, are currently sat in 1 and 2. AlphaTauri with 243 points, with Ferrari in second place with 188, so you can see already that the AlphaTauri has built up a nice little lead after 6 races, after 5 races even, today's being the 6th. In the championships,
Sprunky.
sorry, has he done a good lap?
Yes, he did improve his lap. He's on the 3.8 straight away and showing his fast pace at a very early stage here in Austria already.
Cracking lap, yeah, cracking lap.
On.
No, well, I said earlier on, 103.9 being around a very, very good lap, so 103.8 is superb with still 12 minutes to go, and you can clearly see that the track's got to climb it pretty quick. Some decent times getting put down already, and a hell of a nice day by the looks of it in Austria for the race, which is always a good thing with such a pacey track. You want to see it.
Jump to Harvey, he's very close to Luke. Sorry for interrupting there.
Go for it.
Both are on a fast lap, I think, at the moment. And Harvey's trying to dive in inside of Luke, both on the flying lap. Luke just let Harvey pass, and that might not be the best situation you want to put your car in, if you talk from Harvey's perspective. You never really want to be very close behind a car, because the dirty air has huge effect on your car, and you lose a lot of downforce, a lot of traction as well from the car in front of you.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Let's have a jump on someone else. See who is out and about.
Harvey's just finishing his lap right now. He's a bit slower because of Luke, who was in front of him, but he finished on the 5.8. And is he trying to get another one? I don't think that he would be able to do so, because he's very low on ERS, so he might just go in the box right now, quickly change the tires and get out there as fast as possible again.
I'm just on board with Piero. He's just entering Sector 3, going round Turn 7, the Worth curve. Again, there'll probably be an accent on there that I'm missing.
Melvin is spun in the box.
Who has?
Melvin. Melvin,
no,
Red Bull.
And Kogatas has been... Kogatas has got illegal blocking and been disqualified from the session. Reverend Melvin, the newcomer today, he's been DSQ'd also from qualifying, so not good for Kogatas at all there. Bad news for him as we see Piero dive into the pits. He won't go any quicker. Tomo Tip Top also in the pits. My apologies. Let's go on a car that's out there. McConey is... he didn't finish in the top 10 last week, McConey, so he'll certainly be looking for better today, considering he's 4th in the championship with 38 points. In the championship, it's probably worth mentioning the 4th position, 5th and 6th of McConey, Sprunky and Immortal Viking are 38, 36 and 35 points respectively. So again, it's not going to take much. All it takes is a couple of big races and you're putting yourself ahead of these guys around you. Dat Rowland still sat in 3rd place with 49 points, 26 was it 26 he said behind? I believe you did the maths. 26 points behind Big Ben on 75. Yes, it is 26.
Yes, just caught your end there. I think Dat Rowland is 26 points behind Big Ben, who is 2 points ahead, if I'm not mistaken, of... I need to double check this one as well. I was just looking here through the chat as many people were questioning what happened there for the Rebel driver Melvin in the box. But this is something for later. Who are you watching at the moment?
I am on board with McConey. Just following him around. He is coming past turn 8 and towards Rint, turn 9. Very fast corner, just to sit a little off the brake.
7th gear, like it.
Right round, yeah. Drop, and then flat out. It's quite unforgiving, that last corner, I always notice with turn 10. If you just go beyond the line on the left-hand side, it can really really get you and catch you out and invalidate a lap. And when you've had such a nice lap, it's painful. As you've just mentioned, I heard McConey with a 104.5 puts himself into P2 so far, 7/10 away from Sprunky in P1, who was quite honestly set a very, very impressive lap in my opinion there with a 103.8. It's going to take some drive even by his own standards to beat it.
Yes, definitely. I definitely like what I saw there from McConey as well. You can see that he has been trained with some tier 1 drivers there. He stayed in gear 7 for the second last turn, the one which is very, very hard to pick up, the down right, very, very fast. The reason for that is you don't want to shift up to 8th gear, because if you do that you will be much faster and you have to brake much more. So you rather compromise a little bit of speed and needing to brake a bit less for the down right turn. I definitely do like what I saw, and here congratulations for him at the moment in P2 with a 104.536, just in front of Anthony.
Not bad at all. As Tomo tip-top hop, skips and jumps above Anthony and McConey, he puts himself on the second spot with a 104.4. They're getting a little bit closer, but with 7 minutes to go, it's going to take a pretty impressive lap, as I've said, to get underneath Sprunky, being the only person currently under the 104s. As we see a yellow flag in sector 3. I can't see how that is. It looks like the blue of a potential. Is it Crash? It was, I believe, Crash Gaming, who is now pulled to the side to let his teammate through. Warrior Huntsman, who was on a fast lap coming through turn 10, and he is back on the straight and will Warrior Huntsman. Oh, sorry, no, he's just on an out lap. This is his flying lap. My apologies.
You just let a few driver pass there. Could have interrupted you as well, but I just enjoyed listening to you talking. It's very nice. At the moment as well, while you were talking, that Roland actually improved his lap time up to a 1:047, which brought him up to P5, and now just had to go off the track to let. Was it Harvey or Murphy? That was Murphy. He's 4 seconds faster right now on the last turn, going over the finish line. It's gonna be a bit faster, I think. Yes, he's up in P3 right now with a 1:04.484.
Well done, Murphy. Every now and again pops up with so much speed. One of these days he's going to make sure that his race pace coincides with his pace in a one-shot hot lap, and he is pretty impressive when he keeps his toe down on those hot laps. I just hope he would manage those tyres that little bit better and try and keep all 4 of them on the track, and I am sure he'll have a great chance of being up there today. All the chance in the world. So I was on Warrior Huntsman. He's pulled over to let someone through, so he's not on a hot lap, and he'll probably come round.
He just finished his hot lap actually. He's in P2 now and so extremely close to Sprunky. He is just, let me do a quick rough calculations there. However, I'm really bad at mathematics. I think it's like 4-5 hundredths difference, maybe 4 hundredths difference. Sprunky. Very, very close there.
Very, very close. As we've just seen, Shadow Moody has disqualified. Did he disqualify or just retire from the session? Shadow, because his time at the bottom says he has a time, so maybe it was just a retiring. As Murphy comes at the pits,
quick check.
Come out. Piero, I believe, has just gone. Someone's just gone up there. Tomo Tip Top, was it? No, he's in the pits. I just saw something move. I think it was Piero going in with a 104.490. I apologise if it wasn't. I'm just on board with him at the moment, and he starts a fresh lap now, and he's on sector 1, going toward the Remus turn of turn 2.
Shadow Moody retired. I'm not too sure what happened there. It's an incident. He stated he retired. I'm not too sure if he had a crash.
Not sure. He may have. He might have just been worried that he wouldn't have time to get the car around back in and back out on a hot lap, although I would probably beg to differ, as the laps are only just over a minute. I think that with 4 minutes there's plenty of time to get a car in fresh and out with some fresh softs.
Yes, we have a couple of people who started their next flying lap as well. I think it's Luis here in Renault, currently P14 on a 165. Let's see if he can improve his time, just being followed by 3 more fast cars as well. A Ferrari, a William driver, and a Alpha Tauri, who's very, very close to the William driver.
Well, I'm just
He
on
has
board
a
with.
good start so far. Very hard corner to pick up. I think that's an invalidation, and it is, unfortunately. He went a little bit too wide, but he can still charge for the next lap.
So it's Luis Coelho and Kieran both with invalidated laps and making their way around back to the start. We'll stay on board with Crash Gaming and give him a chance. He didn't have the race that he would have liked, but he's another one just returning and trying to get himself back up to pace as he takes the final corner, and he's flat out down the opening straight. This first corner used to be the Castrol Edge, turn 1, later called the Nicky Lauda turn, RIP Nicky, and he was changed to his name, of course, after his passing, the legend that is. And still on board with Crash as he goes towards turn 2, the Remus turn, and a sharp DRS section of zone, and then downhill section as well, so very hard to get the brakes right in Schlossgold. You'll probably be able to pronounce that better too. Schlossgold turn, I believe. And then turn 5 is what you've just seen. It's a right-hand turn, barely anything there. You've almost blinked and already hit it into Range, turn 6, and then going into sector 3 at the start of turn 7, the left turn. Turn 8 on the inside on the right here, and he's gone flat out towards turn 9 of Rint. He's got one more corner after that, which is the Red Bull Mobile or Mobile of turn 10 as he's heading towards now. It looks like all the tyres went off track, which they did. He'd already invalidated by that point anyway, so probably should have pulled in because his fuel is now going short. Sorry, go for it.
That was... I was just about to say that I quickly had to double check the names of the actual turns because I couldn't really refer the name which you said or pronounced to anyone. And the one you meant, I think it's Schlossgold.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Schlossgold. I am on with, sorry to interrupt, I am on with Matt Warner, and he is facing the opposite way. He's got it back all on. The wheels are all back on track and he's facing in the right direction, but he has had a problem. Unfortunate for him. So Matt Warner's still trying to push on in the Haas. Big Ben, the current championship leader. Where is he? Is he racing tonight?
Big Ben, he retired. He's in P10 at the moment.
Oh, there he is.
He did retire.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, what happened to Big Ben? Sorry if I've missed that. I didn't quite catch what happened to Big Ben, or I don't know why he's out, unless he's already had his last chance and didn't have time to get back out, so he's retired. But he will have certainly wanted to be further up the order than that. Same applies really for MUFC Harvey again, who isn't qualifying as high as I think that he probably is capable of. Luis Coelho's shown pace in the past. So there's Dat Roland, of course, which is Dat Roland's still third in the championship, bearing in mind. He's qualified in 8th position today. Everybody seems to have moved up one there.
What? Sprunky got disqualified? Warriors Huntman went up to P1, which Tomo Tip-Top is in P2 now.
Wow. Don't know what happened there, but as we come, we're just watching the last go of the line. Luke Knocker's improved one, I believe, to P6 that I've just seen there. Don't know what has happened. Please, if anybody knows in the chat, or if anybody's caught what happened, of course we might find out off the drivers later on, but yeah, things have gone on. Things have gone down somewhere on the track that we may have missed as we are looking at the final cars coming in. Let's flick over to Anthony Sands, see if he can improve his. But as it stands, Warrior Huntsman is on the top of the grid in P1. Tomo Tip-Top in the Red Bull in P2. The Racing Point of Murphy, great qualifying for him today, puts him in P3 with a 104.4. Piero 5th. McConey in Piero 4. McConey in 5th position. Luke Knocker's finished, he's in 6th. Anthony Stan just coming around the final turn now, and he will go number 2 with his final lap. He has put it in P2 solid, and he is the 3rd person to put a 103 or something under 104, wasn't he? Was someone else there? But it was Sprunky, wasn't it? But he got DQ'd.
Yeah, only Sprunky and Warriors Huntsman, and now Anthony as well, went under the 104.
We'll have to find out what happened to Sprunky, but that's desperately unlucky, and that's going to be a massive hit on a track like Austria. But well, we'll see if the opening few get away. But Warrior's still on the top of events there. He'll be happy making his way around without a shadow of a doubt. who
just trying to find out what happened here to Sprunky.
Yes, please.
He said he came off track. He was turning his car, and then he went 2 meters in front to turn his car to the left, and he got disqualified.
If you start, whoa, my pen's gone running. If you spin or you pull to the side of the track, and for any reason you're either pointing in the other direction or you're going too slow, independent on where you are on the track, sometimes it can be classed as a hazard, and the game recognises that you could be in a dangerous spot, whatever you're doing, or if you're going backwards, whether or not it's on track or not, could be seen as dangerous, and it is quite unforgiving. I've seen tracks where people are genuinely just trying to stay safe or just trying to get the car round. And they've just been disqualified from practice sessions or from qualifying, so that is desperately unlucky. Feel sorry for the lad, but he has it all to do now. He's got it in the locker, so let's see what he's all about.
I do have to say that I really enjoy racing in Austria. The battles are always very fun. It's easier to follow cars as well due to the DRS zones, and detection points are quite easy as well. Yeah. However, the qualifying itself can get a little confusing as well, since it's literally doesn't really have many turns, and it's a circuit which you can complete if you hook it up perfectly in 1 minute and 2 seconds, even in normal qualifying. So it's a very, very short circuit, which can get very confusing there. However, we are about to start the race.
Well, they are going to... I've just heard that there's 1 or 2 trying to rejoin, so hopefully they get done in time. Just a quick one before we get going. This is a 4.3 mile track, 36 turns in our race today. Again, hot lap on mediums of 105 seconds, softs of 104 or 103, and as we've just seen there, that is ended up being exactly right, that 103s were going to be very good and up there to try, almost take the race. As they go on their formation laps, they are just pulling away. Hopefully no one touches each other. I have to say, last week nobody touched each other, which I probably failed to mention, but there was no contact during the formation lap, which is, I would say, expected, but doesn't tend to happen all of the time. But just a quick one on the strategy, because we haven't touched on it in qualifying. I did a little bit of research on what you could do. There's not massive amounts of changes of time, to be honest with you. The corners are... obviously in softs you can go faster, but it's personal preference in between mediums and hards, to be perfectly honest. Mediums you'd expect to be slower than the softs, but quicker than the hards, of course. But over a track and over the course of a race don't make masses of difference. You're probably looking at about a second a lap, though, from soft to mediums, realistically, with the same conditions. So we're going to be looking at soft medium. If that's the case, we're going to be looking at about 14 laps before they come in for their mediums, and around 22 laps on the mediums. Or if there is a safety car early doors and they choose to go hards to see the race out, or of course they get in a problem or have to come in the pits, or there's all sorts that can happen, as we know. But if it does, and they have to make an early change, then they might want to go on soft hards. If they do, 12 laps on the softs and around 24 laps on the hards, as we see them pull back onto the grid.
Wonderful. And as well, just before we have the lights going out, I want to just say thank you for everyone for watching this stream as well. I totally understand why you are here with us joining at Austria, because I myself enjoy listening to you as well while you're talking as well. Absolutely amazing from you as well, picking up some tire strategies after flashing us with some more information about the racetrack in real life. However, the drivers are lining up here. If you have any questions, if you want to view any particular driver, let us know in the comments. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start the Austrian GP here for Cone Racing, lead of the Academy. And I think as we are just waiting for some drivers to connect, we have 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights on. And it's lights out and away we go. Who will be able to survive first and foremost the first turn? Very good start here for Anthony and a Mercedes, a Racing Point Murphy. Dive in the inside.
He's
wow,
gone for an
there's so
absolute
much
time. He's got the
going on.
braking wrong. Murphy has got the braking wrong. Bit of a dive bomb, but to keep the car straight, in fairness to him, he's done very well. And if he can keep the car there, it's actually a blessing in disguise, because he might have got a warning for it, but he hasn't had to give any positions back, and he stays in the lead beyond Tomo Tip Top, who has now been challenged by Warrior Huntsman in the second position. There has been a penalty already for Matt Warner in 11th position, as we see him drop down, and Sprunky goes past him, and Sprunky's first victim has been taken. And there's a bit of fluctuation between the two of them as we go back to the
went
field.
off track.
And someone has just hit the wall.
Luke spun, I think that's yellow or orange damage on the right side. He needs to go in the box. And there's another one as well. Who's that? Crash Gaming as well.
Yep, looked like in Sector 2 there was a bit of a problem. It looks like all the cars are back moving again, but yes, as we've just seen, it is very unfortunate for Luke. As we see a car at the very back, who is that? Who is still at the start?
That's Crash Gaming.
Oh, it's Crash, right, okay. Crash having a bit of a bad time. I think he has just lost it, and he has got a lot to do.
Anthony pitted, and he retired in the pit as well, straight away after the first lap. Very, very unfortunate here. I'm not so sure what happened. At the same time, we have Crash Gaming as well, struggling on the track here with, I assume, somewhat damage. Also, is it Kieran in the pits? No, it's Luke in the pits. The game is messed up all over again at the beginning here.
So currently, just Luke Knock is wrong. Warrior Huntsman leads our race. He is in front of the racing point of Murphy in P2. I know it says P3 on the right hand side. Big Ben of note, he is already climbing up. Let's have a little look at where they started and where they now are, and we can get a little bit more on the visuals as to what's been going on. Position change, there we are. Kogataz has done unbelievably well, jumping now 12 positions, as I'll jump on with him just a second. He puts himself in P5. He is absolutely flying, the boy. He's put himself into 5th. Tomo Tip Top has just dropped the 1 position for Big Ben, who is on the up and up of 6 points. I feel like I'm doing like now, or Top of the Pops, when they're talking about the go up and down from last week. So
yes.
Big Ben puts it into P2, going towards, where are they on the moment? Turn 2, the Remus turn, and there has been a penalty for Warrior. So
Murphy lost 4 positions. Oh, almost. Is he side by side? I think he just defended his position in front of Kogutas, but he lost a lot of positions there, wondering if he has a little bit of damage. But I just double checked as well the race start from the racing point. Lucky him, he only got a warning here for exceeding racing track limits. However, is that also on your screen that Warrior Huntsman has a penalty already?
Warrior does have penalty already, as well as Kirant and as well as Matt Warner, as I have the rear view of Murphy. I just wanted to have a little look as Crash has retired from the session. Not the start that he wanted, and not his today. Now a lovely angle on McConey going past Kogataz on the opening straight towards turn 1, the Nicky Lauda turn. He has a decent exit, but probably not as good as Murphy's, but DRS will be open now, and we'll see the two catch him pretty quickly on this straight, whether or not he's going to make a pass. Is he going to go for it? We see him alongside, but he backs out, and I'll stop making everyone's head spin. Murphy very polite on that turn. He gives him all the space in the world, but McConey chooses to stay behind because of DRS, of course, and that is why he chose to do it. And Murphy doesn't give him a great deal of space. A little bit naughty by him, considering how nice he was the previous turn, but they get around, and McConey makes the pass safely, and Murphy sits in P5. Where else do we need to go?
Overtake from McConey, and Murphy's losing so many positions. Another one here from Kogutas. I'm wondering what's happening there, trying to find if there's any damage. However, I have an update already from the first 2 retired cars. Anthony in the Mercedes has said that his game was crashing and bugging all over the place. He had blue flags at the race start straight away. Might be his internet as well, so he had to retire in the pit. Very, very fair racing. Very unfortunate for him as well. Yes. Before getting any sort of penalty from the stewards causing a potential incident because of his lagging, he decided to retire in the pit. Very, very unfortunate for him as well.
Fair enough to him. Quite the gentlemanly, respectful thing to do if you know that the connection's all over the place and it's causing your race to have a problem, then of course it's going to cause others to have a problem, and you don't want to eliminate other drivers. It is a respectful league, all the drivers do. As I say that, there is a touch between Murphy and, who was it, McConey, Kogatas, I'm not sure.
It was Kogatas.
Yeah, he's now going round Ronge. No, he isn't.
Have a look at position change as well.
Yeah, Kogatas, unbelievable. I'm on position change as we speak. Kogatas has jumped 13 places up from P13, P18 even. He was at the very... Was he at the back, Kogatas? I don't think he was. 13.
He improved by 13 positions.
Yeah.
I am double-checking the stream at the moment from his start. And unbelievably, at this rate, this is a bug, because I can see Kogatas at the start of the race in P18.
Oh, right, well, P18 plus 13 is 5, that's right.
Yeah, that makes sense. That was an absolute astonishing first 5 laps here from Kogatas, already in P5, just behind Mr. McConey, who improved as well by two positions, but also, not to mention, Sprunky. Yep. He's already in P5 as well, improved by 11. Big Ben as well by 8 in P1 now, but now I'm still talking.
No, it's good. The more the merrier. I was just going to mention the fact that, Tomo Tiptop's just got a 3-second penalty. I wasn't going to mention that, but he's in P3, and that will make a difference to his race. But Sprunky had just jumped ahead of Kogatas, who nearly lost it there ever so slightly, going into turn 8. It's a flat-out turn 8, back on itself. And you want to carry as much speed as you can, really, going towards the turn of turn 9 and the second last turn. His back ends come out so easily to do and come on the accelerator too early, and unfortunately his back end's lost himself a few tenths, but he's still within that 1 second time for DRS at the moment, and does get it, so might be able to catch him a little bit towards turn 2.
Yeah, wonderful. Just a small update as well here from the YouTube chat. We have quite a few fans here representing AlphaTauri. Duel is already a big fan of what he sees here. He's currently in a battle, Warriors Huntsman going side by side in next to the Red Bull. Tomo Tiptop still battling. I think he defended his position very well. Yes, he is still in P2. I assume Duel did definitely enjoy watching this battle if it was caught on stream. Also, we have Daniel Ferguson, who here in the chat, who is cheering up for McConey, who is currently in P5. I think he just been overtaken by Sprunky, if not mistaken. Sprunky now in P4. What a race start for him. So we have quite a couple of fans here already. And while I'm saying that, Murphy and Lewis both picked up a 3 seconds time penalty in this Austrian Grand Prix. And
so,
McConey as well.
McConey as well. So we're seeing a few penalties on the table on the left-hand side, probably worth making a note of. And a shout out to, of course, D-Fergs, or G-Fergs, CGM Fergs, whatever he calls it, whatever he goes by nowadays.
Yeah, CGM Ferg.
CGM Ferg, and Duil, big shout out to the boys. Both Tier 1 drivers at CRL, and not too slow, to be fair to them both. They're quite sharp on the day. Ferguson and Duil. I'll take them down one day. I just need a bit more practice. I'll get there now. So we're on board with Sprunky. He is got his eyes set on the Warrior, that is Warrior Huntsman in the AlphaTauri. Also, speaking of which, he is in the points. Not only is he in the points, he's on the podium. He is less than a second behind, so the pack are quite bunched up. We can get down to maybe 6th of Kogatas with a less than a second between each, and then a little bit of a gap that's formed to Murphy that, like what I was saying before, is one lap on his qualifying is pretty lethal, but with a heavy car can sometimes overcook the odd corner, and it does cost him in the early stages of a race. I wish he would correct it, because he has certainly got the speed to sort of mix it up at the top. A little bit of a change in spot there. Looks like Warrior, who has come into the pits, he's on his way back out now and will return and join the track behind Matt Warner, who is his teammate in Haas, I believe. Sorry, yes. He's not even Haas, he's AlphaTauri, isn't he? My apologies. But it's the Haas that he comes alongside of Matt Warner, and he's got in front of him in turn 2. And he will try and now push on lap 9. It's an early time for him to pit, actually. I wonder if he's...
yeah, We can have a look who pitted already, which is Warriors Huntsman in P12.
Yeah.
And also 15 seconds behind Harvey is the second person who pitted, as well as Dead Roland in the McLaren, followed by Luke. These are the only drivers who pitted so far. But also another small social media update here, as we have another fan from Nathan, also a very fast Tier 1 driver, who had an absolute amazing
Yeah, I mean, he's alright. He's alright, I suppose. Nathan's
oh
alright,
yeah, he's alright. I do apologize for this.
He's alright. He's not Duel of Ferg, but he's alright. You know.
He's not Duel of Ferg, but yeah, he's alright. Yeah, he's decent.
He's very rapid. He's very rapid as Nathan. He knows I'm only having his line, but has a very important position here at CRL.
Yeah. He's obviously cheering for his own teammate in the Mercedes, Piero, who's currently in P9 and doesn't have a single penalty at all so far, so good start for Piero.
Well done him. Well done him. Kierant has opted for the hards. Will he try and see the rest of the race out on these hards? A few laps to go. He's probably looking at the best part of 26 laps. No, he isn't. He's probably looking at the best part of 20... Yes, he is. 26 laps on hards, although he's already 9 through. So, yeah, he's going to go... Is that right? Am I getting confused? He's 9 laps in. He must have made an early change. My apologies. I'm getting lost with everyone. I'll jump out to Piero, who's gone into pits. So is Luis Carollo. So they are all coming in the pits now.
Yes, Nathan is going crazy as well in the comments. He will prove us wrong that he is as well very fast. Duel also. Shots are fired, and I need to correct myself as well. It was unfortunate a little bit for Piero at the start, who actually is in the pits right now. He lost a few positions at the beginning, but he doesn't have a time penalty, and let's hopefully he won't receive one over the entire race today. However, who have you been following the last couple of minutes?
Well, I was just on board with Piero. I just saw Dat Roland. Piero was just coming out the pits, as you mentioned him. And I just had a little look to see Dat Roland just swing round the outside after turn 1 and get himself in front of him in P13. A couple of seconds in front of him, and Murphy not having his optimal race, but he's been in the pits now and he's out on the mediums. And he will certainly be looking to see these tyres out till the end now. So he's going to try and push as much as he can on these fresh tyres and see if he can make himself a difference with it. Kierant has jumped above McConey, but it looks like McConey is in the pits, and that will be why. Quick stop, and he's also opted for the hards to see him out for the rest of the race. After 12 laps, you would have thought maybe took a chance on the mediums, but we can see that there's a few cars coming out on the hards. There's a few different strategies going on today, as we can see. And as he comes out the pits, Matt Warner gets alongside and takes past him. He's up on the... Oh, he's on the grass for some reason, is Matt. That might affect his braking here. There's a little bit of tyre on the wheel, a little bit of grass on the wheel. No, it doesn't. Takes the corner pretty well, but of course there's going to be DRS from McConey, and you would imagine he'll get the pass done leading into the turn of turn 4. The Schlossgold.
Schlossgold.
That's what
yes, indeed. You definitely said that one as well, yes. Unfortunately for Sprunk, he just picked up a 3 seconds time penalty for multiple warning. Almost every driver who's still racing has a time penalty already. Very hard track not to get one here in Austria. Just double checked all the fastest lap times as well. Here we have the all top 4 drivers until Koguchas are on a 1.7. 8 is the top one, and Big Ben has leading the fastest lap at the moment on 7.2. Consistent driving as well for him, but also Warriors Huntsman, who pitted already. He's very consistent. I think I checked his race director. He was on 7.8 consistent when he wasn't battling. So good start so far for Warriors Huntsman. Everything is still possible for him.
Very good. We've just seen Luis Coelho, I believe. He had another penalty there. So I've got the penalties on the left-hand side of the screen. You may be able to see them at the moment. That from 2nd position to 6th position, Sprunky, Tomo, Kogatas, Kieran and Warrior, all with a 3-second penalty. Reverend Melvin, who's up in 7th at the moment, has 6 seconds of penalties, with Shadow in behind him with nothing at all. And our race leader, it's probably worth the biggest mention currently, as Warrior gets another 3-second penalty. Kieran has gone past Warrior. Oh, has jumped to the pits, has he?
Very close. That Roland here with Piero, who's making a move into the second last turn on Harvey, just staying behind him. Maybe he'll be able to get him on a straight. No, he won't, because Harvey just went into the pits. That means Piero still has the DRS for the long straight. That Roland just behind. Is he going to be able to overtake him on this next long straight with DRS? It's a bit low in ear as his electro engine, that Roland not being able to catch up with Piero. He managed his ERS very well. He's still over 60%. So a good advantage for the Mercedes driver, who is a good teammate from Nathan and has all the cheers already. So well done you, Nathan.
So back to still on board with Piero, as we see that Roland behind him. McConey is where he is 8th, and see Shadow Moody takes a hell of a lot of the 9th corner away. That Rint corner coming round to the Red Bull Mobile before the opening straight. And is he going to go for it? McConey is going to go for it. He's got DRS, he's got overtake with the ARS, and he should make a quite safe pass in here. Takes all of the doesn't leave him a great deal behind him, just shuts the door out, but nothing really wrong with that. He'd got in front, this corner was his, but he's still got overtake on, and that's his ARS completely gone. So if Shadow can keep close and get back within 1 second, I see why McConey's done that, to see if he can open up that little bit of a gap quickly. And Shadow won't be able to do much facing the side of the wall. Don't drive in the wall, don't drive in the wall, just wait. Anyway, we have seen Shadow just have a little bit of a problem as Piero goes into 9th position. Shadow's still in the points, but he's obviously done 14 laps on the softs. He is ready to come into the pits now and get onto the mediums. I think he should probably do that now, as we have seen he's quite easily losing a little bit. And we see Kogatas, Sprunky, both at the front of affairs. They've both gone in the pits now. Sprunky opting for the hards, as Kogatas did, didn't he? No, he's not. He is putting some mediums on. Big Ben also in there. Big Ben is coming out, and he's also got the mediums on. We can see as Big Ben came out, where Melvin unfortunately lost it in qualifying. It's just that turning on the way out, quite easily done, to try and get to the top of there. It's quite a sharp break and a little bit of a right-hander that you don't have a great deal of grip on, so you do have to stop and be careful coming out of that pits and getting your foot back down, even more so if you've opted for no traction. Big Ben, however, we're following
very
it on
close
board.
Again.
On
behind Kogatas.
In 4th position with Sprunky. There's a little bit of moving and shaking further down the pitch. The field, the track. So Shadow and Luke have gone into the pits. What's happening now? Kieran with a 3-second tap.
Just have McConey as well, staying behind Kogatas at this moment. With McConey's a little bit low in ERS, and I think Kogatas has a bit more. Yes, he has. He's on 40%. McConey is on around 15-20% ERS. You might just want to take it easy right now if you are McConey, saving a little bit of ERS, getting the DRS. So many RSs here in place in this Formula 1 race, but just to charge up his engine, his electro engine a bit more. There's yellow flag, and is a Racing Point. Who went off? Who is that? Is it Harvey?
It's MUFC Harvey, and he has DNF'd. He is out of the race. The car disappeared from the track at the middle of Sector 1, so I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like it was after turn 1, where he's lost control of the car and turned into the fence. At a guess, that just because I've done it a few times and it looked like that was where the car ended up. A little bit of a heads up here. Big Ben, without a penalty, is currently only 3 seconds behind 2nd position. Sprunky and Warrior we need to keep a close eye on. That'll be very interesting towards the end. 2 seconds separate them now. However, Warrior has gone on the medium, so when those mediums start to get tired, and we're on board with Big Ben, who has gone sideways and he's reset to track, and he will of course get a penalty for that, also causing Tomo Tip Top to nearly hit him. We know that you can't reset onto track because he has of course gained an advantage as a result of doing that. So although he has no penalties in the race at the moment, he is probably treading on thin ice realistically for resetting, and it doesn't help when you are on when you're literally on the stream when you do it.
Yeah,
not
you got caught on the stream. That's very unfortunate.
Unlucky boy. There's no getting out of that one. So Tomo Tip Top ahead of him in 4th position. Sprunky and Warrior keep a close eye. As I was saying, Warrior Huntsman's gone through 8 laps on the mediums, and that should get him to the end of the race, and he'll have plenty of pace with him at the moment. But of course, once that starts to slow down, Sprunky will have more traction if he had a compound. See if that makes a difference. It'd be interesting to see whether or not that does make a difference later on. It also looks like Warrior is slowly getting closer and closer to Kierant, who is of course in front of everybody, but has done 17 laps on those hards.
Oh, there's Battle Lewis on P12.
Well, we
see attacking here has DRS. Why is it he's not activating DRS? Now he is.
Now he is. It might have been a little error there.
Melvin on P11 right now. Did he get disqualified and started at the very back at the start of the race?
Melvin was one of the DNFs in the qualifying. Yes, he was. He had a problem coming out of the pit lane, and I believe he pulled Kogataz into it a little bit. I haven't seen the footage, but I have a feeling that might have happened because Kogataz was soon also having problems, and I believe there was some sort of contact or some sort of issue on the pit exit, as I made reference to before, that being a problem.
Big Ben is attacking.
Where am I looking?
Ben is attacking.
Is attacking.
Is in P4. Yes, P4 right now. He just made the move on to Tomo Tip Top. Remember, Big Ben did spin and quickly went back to the track and still had the pace, so he was able to overtake Tomo Tip Top. And the task for the Red Bull driver now is, if he's able to stick to him, he might want to think about saving a bit of ERS for the long run here. Still 16 laps to go. With just a quick update of the position changes, Sprunky has improved his race by 13 positions, currently the number 1, followed by Kogutas with 12 positions. But Kieran, who still hasn't pitted yet, if I'm not mistaken, just double checking everything right now, and yes, Kieran is the only driver who hasn't pitted so far. Very interesting to see. He's in a good position if there was a safety car coming out right now. And Sprunky going very wide over the gravel here, as well as he just tried to charge an attack on Warrior's Huntsman. So very, very good racing here, as promised, in Austria. But everywhere on the field it's happening. Lewis getting very, very close. P12 here. Is he able to overtake who's that? The Red Bull from Melvin into official turn 3. No, he wasn't. Melvin defended. Let's watch the battle a bit longer, going around the inside and made the move. Now in front of Melvin in P11. Warriors Muntsman top 3 are getting closer to Kieran as well. He's on very, very old tires right now. See, Warriors Huntman is going inside into turn number 2 and wait, there's contact.
Oh no! There's a massive incident, and Sprunky and Warrior both inside the fence. This is tragic. In fairness, Kierant tried to hold it probably a little bit too much. He was at the back. He was just about to get. Oh no, he wasn't. No, sorry, he wasn't about to get lapped. No. I'm completely wrong. He's the only one who hasn't been in the pits yet. He's 20 laps into hard, so he will just about be coming in to the pit lane. Oh, 2 more laps for him on the hards, I would imagine, and he will come in to change for softs to finish the race out. He has held steady really, and we've seen a massive incident between Warrior Huntsman and, was it Sprunky? The
Sprunky,
pair of them,
yes. That one didn't look very good on Sprunky's side. If I'm not mistaken, he did make the AlphaTauri car spin. He's going into the pits right now, so he definitely has damage. very, very unlucky for Boris Huntsman. This is definitely going to be something if it's going to be reported for the stewards to have a look into. Very, very unfortunate here for Boris Huntsman.
Unlucky to him. It is very unlucky. As it happens, however, we are on board with Sprunky, who hasn't got any damage on his car, so he's sat still quite nice, really. 5 laps ahead. He will sit in second position once Kieran does his inevitable stop. And we'll see, of course, where Kieran comes out, probably about halfway down the pack. It's quite a quick, relatively quick, I suppose, in and out pit. But we'll see where that ends up. Kogataz in 5th position. He is still trying to put his chase upon Tomo Tip Top and Sprunky Tomo with only half a second in deficit as they go around turn 8 and head towards the final 2 corners of lap number 22. Piero still without a penalty, probably worth a big shout out to him. We'll have to see about Big Ben's, but Reverend Melvin has got another one. We'll just have a quick look at the penners just to see what they're looking like. Piero driving, superbly. Fair play to him. He is bringing himself into the pits now for his change, but he is clean as a whistle. As we see, Dat Roland is stopping for no one as he comes into the pits and drives straight through it to come in. Fair play to him. Go for it, lad. So most are on 3 seconds and 6 seconds, and you can do that just through pure battling, really. And we see Dat Roland puts the mediums on. He can't have a set of softs, because a set of softs would have took him to the end of this race, I would have imagined. So I gather that he would have preferred to go with the fresh ones in the end. Piero coming out the pits as well. And we'll flick off the penalties, because it's not something that I like to sit on. It doesn't really matter about them. Everyone has now made a stop, barring Kierant, who is making one, or not just yet.
Yes, very, very interesting to see Kieran. I just double-checked the race incident as well. It's not a bug. He has been as well on the same tires, the hard compound of tire, for 24 laps right now, and very consistent as well. However, he still has to pit, and a pit stop here in Austria, how long does it take? Roughly 23 seconds?
I would agree, it's like mid-20s, I would guess.
Mid-20s. Now, he improved his race at the moment by 11 positions, meaning you want to be as fast as possible to go away from the faster cars approaching you from the back right now. So it might have not been the best decision to battle approaching cars. I think the best position for him, he's in a really strong position, but he should just let fast cars who are approaching him to pass without any defense, so he can stay in the DRS, getting a bit more ERS for his electro engine for the long run, and being much faster here. Big Ben approaching him right now. Let's see if he listened to me talking, or if he's defending here into turn number 1. Is Big Ben going to attack? Doesn't look like he's staying behind. Getting very close there from Kieran.
Hang on. Kieran goes wide on turn 1 to try and keep the spot. We are going to stay on board with Big Ben just a second. I believe there was a fastest lap there. I'm pretty sure I saw a fastest lap. I think it was Warrior, which would make perfect sense. He's on the soft. Ooh, contact. Big Ben just goes into the back of Kieran, takes the corner a little bit quicker, gets DRS, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch back up to him because of that little hiccup from turn 3, should I say, towards the downhill of Schlossgold. There is another turn, by the way, which I mentioned. This is turn 5 that they're on now, so there is another turn before the left-hander, the launch turn of number 6. The 2 left-handers, 6 and 7, and they enter sector 3 with 9 laps still to go. We're on board with Big Ben, who is narrowing Kieran, but of course, as we've already mentioned, we would think that Kieran at some point is going to change. I'd be blown away if he didn't, and of course he does. He is now in the pits, still holding first position, but of course that's because we're watching on board with Big Ben. Sprunky in second place. So we have now reassumed the confirmed order of Big Ben and Sprunky. That's where they were some time ago, if you remember. The difference being that Big Ben is on 9 laps of medium, Sprunky is on 9 laps of hards. We see, whoa, did someone go for it there?
No, I'm just joining Sprunky here for this for this lap at the moment, and very interesting to see he's using all of his ERS, which is very unfortunate for himself. He's just closing his own door because you don't wanna use ERS right now. He's pushing everything all the way to 0, and if your car is on 0 ERS, you will lose a lot of pace. You are already in the DRS zone. You don't need to push in this position and in this state of the race. All you have is just DRS and just charge your engine, your electric engine up again.
Very true, very correct. What he'll probably find, as you've said, is he is going to lose some pace if he keeps trying to push it to the very end. And Sprunky goes extremely wide into turn 1, manages to keep it in check. I don't think he received a penalty for it, but may have got a warning.
The cars are catching up. It's going to be very, very interesting at the end. Look at Tomo Tip Top, 2 seconds because of they're pushing too far there. If they're battling now, Tomo Tip Top with Kogutas, they are gonna be able to catch up. So this is gonna be interesting.
This is gonna be very interesting. I think there's gonna be a few in there with a shake-up at the end.
Yes.
This is gonna be good to watch. So don't go anywhere. Keep your eyes on this race. We have some laps left. 9 laps left now of the Austrian Grand Prix here, the Red Bull Ring at Spielberg. 36 laps in total, 27 of them covered in race 6 of the Cone Racing League's race. Just thought, where is... Yeah, Immortal Viking, we don't have racing tonight, do we? No, Immortal Viking. Last week, he got fastest lap in the race 6 last week. Unfortunately, we don't have him here representing the McLarens. He would be alongside his partner in crime, Dat Roland. So unfortunately, we don't have him tonight. It is worth... Kogutas is going for it into turn 2 and makes the pass. Tomo Tip Top just in behind now. Is that right?
Yes, he did, and Kogutas is battling back, going around the outside. Is he going to be able to stick to this? Are we seeing Albon? No, we won't. And he's still behind Kogutas here in Austria. But very, very interesting to see, and also to mention the leaders at the moment are catching and lapping the back of the field. That means they will be able to get DRS. This is why we see Kogutas dropping back, and also for the fact because he was battling with Tomo Tip Top. Let's see if he can change the pace now and pull Tomo Tip Top towards the leader. It's going to be very, very tricky for the leader as well.
So I'm just on board with Big Ben. Spunky, both gone past turn 1. Spunky on the harder compound. I wonder if that is the difference between making a pass on Big Ben and having to just sit in his dirty air at the moment. He's got a decent launch out of turn 2, or turn 3, sorry, to Remus, and will have DRS, and you can see that wing open out nice and wide behind him, and he goes for it. I don't think that this straight's going to be long enough, as you have to slam those anchors on for the downhill turn of turn 4. It's tough to get traction around there at the best of times, and you see another car behind them as well as that Kogutas just coming around the top. Shadow Moody behind him, and they are with the lapped cars, Shadow and Tomo Tip Top, who isn't. Tomo Tip Top just coming around, and he Shadow in the middle of this sandwich, but he doesn't have to worry about the ghosted car, and he can put his toe down. Thank you to Shadow for trying to pull to the side. As it happens, Tomo didn't get the launch he would have liked to around there, although he won't be worrying about where Shadow is. He'll just try and put his toe down. He's took a bit too much of the corner, and we'll have probably lost him some time as well, but he'll have DRS to stay behind him. He will, yeah.
And Sprunky is... No, he went back. Big Ben with a beautiful switchback here on Sprunky. When Sprunky has the DRS open, is trying to go around the inside, and are we seeing the same move again?
Yes, Sprunky's gone very, very deep. Sprunky's trying to go through the corner and almost cut him off, Big Ben. He's trying to take as much of that corner as possible to really make him think about the fact he's theirs. Big Ben with some beautiful driving, to be fair to him. He's held off, knew where he was going deep, took the corner nice and tight, stayed on the track and got back up to speed, and keeps his first position. I would imagine that it's going to have to be a turn like that from Sprunky to actually get himself ahead. Been being on the harder compound and others. Not masses of difference, but I think the longer this race goes...
Watch Piero, P9 is getting attacked by Lewis right now. Lewis going around the inside, diving into turn number 3, and he makes a move. Is he pushing Piero off the track? Yes, a little bit. No damage, I assume. Well, it didn't look like there was any damage, but he gives the position back. Very, very fair racing here from both drivers.
Honourable.
On for position 9. Very, very honourable.
Yeah, fair play
just
to him.
behind them.
I think Luis Coelho as well, he may have had the recognition of being on 18 laps of hard tyres against Piero of 6 laps on mediums. May have had that thought of, well,
maybe.
Do I want to fight this too much? Do I want to put, have the car potentially facing backwards when I don't need to?
Maybe
but there's 5 laps left. He's in the points still. He just needs to keep his head down. And there's going to be a fair few penalties as we see the race's second place get another penalty. But he is cut from half a second. He's getting closer and closer and closer. So he is still getting round there pretty quick. Maybe the mediums at this point starting to lose a little bit of traction. I mean, you would expect him to get about 20 odd laps out of mediums, so maybe not just yet losing traction. But he's obviously trying to fight hard, and they won't be as fresh as they were. See whether or not that makes a difference.
McConaughey's still in as well. He is currently, if he stays in this 10.8 seconds interval to Tomo Tiptop, he would take, wouldn't he? It's very close. If McConaughey can improve a little bit, he can jump Tomo Tiptop due to his penalties, but McConaughey also have a 3 seconds time penalty, so everything all goes down to the penalties at the end. Very, very interesting.
I think
yes,
as long as Big Ben's clever, I think it's looking very, very strong for him at the moment. He's only got 3 seconds of penalties. Sprunky in second place with 12. So no matter how close they are on the track, is probably irrelevant as we jump up and see Big Ben and Sprunky going side by side, heading towards turn 7. Let's see if anything happens between them. Sorry, it was turn 6. This is turn 7. The little right-hander of turn 8.
Kieran overtook McConaughey. Kieran is up in P5 now. McConaughey is behind him in P6. That was into... I forgot the name already of that turn. Schlossgold, that was the name. McConaughey now in P6, but the battle for the win is still up. Everyone is closing up to the leader right now. Even Tomo Tiptop in the Red Bull, just 1.7 seconds behind. We have a yellow flag. It looks like a slow... Renault, wondering if someone had some traction or grip struggles there.
Maybe so. So Kieran, as you say, has gone past McConaughey. So McConaughey has schlossed his place on Schlossgold, the turn number 4. He drops into 6th position. He's on 20 laps of hards. He is starting to get somewhere near to the optimal traction starting to go down. But of course, we only have 3 left. So McConaughey's strategy is just about bob on for what you would want out of optimal hard strategy. He's in P6. Kieran in 5. Tomo Tiptop with the Red Bull in 4. Kogataz, he is
currently in P2 provisional.
He's in provisional,
Penalties.
yeah, with penalties, provisional P2, and on the podium again for him, pushing his way there. Big Ben again with another penalty. That's going to cost him. We see a little bit of movement in front of Kogataz on the opening straight to see whether or not that's going to cause anyone any problems. Big Ben, it is, of course, half a second when Sprunky just ahead of them. So them 3 now bunched up. All on 17 laps. As I say, Sprunky with the harder compound tyres. Is he going to be able to hold Big Ben and Kogataz? Penalty-wise, doesn't really matter. He's already got them held. He just needs a clever last couple of laps. But for position-wise, he doesn't want to get in any bother. He doesn't want to get in any wrestling or any fights. You know, if they get close enough, I would be tempted to just allow them to go by, especially when you're sporting 0 overtake ERS left. So I would be really conscientious about what the decisions I was going to make in terms of my race as Reverend Melvin.
P11. Sorry for interrupting you, but Murphy's just diving into turn 2 onto, who was that? Into Lewis. Murphy made a beautiful overtake to the Renault driver. Murphy on a good pace at the moment and open up his rear wing. Is he going to be able to catch Piero? It's very, very interesting to be here for the last few laps everywhere on the field. What position whatever position you're battling for, everyone is so close in the last few laps in Austria as well, Kogutas as well. 300ths of a second close to Big Ben. Is he going to be able to overtake him, open up this DRS? But as we talked about it before, his ERS engine, electro engine, is very, very low. Has he got it done, or is Big Ben doing the switchback?
Again. Oh, there's contact! There's a little bump of the tyres there from Big Ben and Kogutas as they wrestle for position. I'll say it one more time again. Big Ben, don't wrestle him. Just let him have it. Worst case scenario. That's beautiful driving off the pair of the drivers. Beautiful. No more contact as they swing around. And they have just gone into single file, which is, thank God that they did. You can only do that for so long before the inevitable happens, especially when you see a little bit of jolting around by Big Ben's connection. So everybody now with penalties on the field.
Also interrupting you again because Murphy just overtook Piero. I was talking about it before. Murphy on a good pace here was able to overtake Piero. Piero now has DRS open and ERS activated. Let's see what happens. Murphy low on ERS because of his very aggressive driving style. He might be into a lot of pressure. Boris Huntman as well, getting very close to McConey. Everyone is battling here onto the last lap. McConey going half semi-defensive into turn number 1 and giving back the position.
Yeah,
very fair driving as well. He broke a little bit too hard. I was wondering what he was doing there as well. Very, very fair racing here in the academy. It's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, superb. I think McConey's probably realising just how strong his tyres are. He's going against someone on softs, although 13 laps in now, so he's going to be coming to the end of his run on softs.
McConey's attacking again into Schlossgold in the inside. Are they going side by side? No, because McConey made it.
McConey did make close. It. Yeah, it was. Yes. Warrior Huntsman just grazed the grass. And yeah, there was a twitchy something that rhymes with grass would have been twitching quite a lot there as he put his toe down out the exit of the corner. But that is
finished.
It. Didn't even get back to have a little look at the front drivers as they passed the line. My apologies to Big Ben, who was that fast I couldn't even keep up with his last lap. He has won this race and put it in first position. Kogutas in second position. Sprunky of the Ferraris. I'm going to excuse me of all the times.
Bless you.
God, my head fell off. Sprunky in third. Tomo Tip Top in the Red Bull in fourth. Alfa Romeo with CRA Round gets himself into fifth after a less than usual qualifying for him. McConey in sixth. Unbelievable driving from McConey once again, and some very fair racing from him in his last lap. Warrior Huntsman currently sat in our league's second position, only 5 points off the top, but however he was 5 points behind Big Ben, so today will have been and opened that gap somewhat, because Big Ben of course is sat on the top of the podium. McLaren's Dat Rowland flying the flag for McLaren today. As I say, unfortunately we didn't have last week's fastest lap setting Immortal Viking with us today, but there we have it. Everybody is now past the line and we are done for round 6 in Austria. Driver of the day, Kogutas, and to be honest I'm not sure I could disagree with that.
Same.
He's been unbelievable as his race has transformed today. There's been some great races across the field. We'll wait until the results come up on the screen in just a moment, and we can talk through the final positions. 44 comments in the stream there, with 12 people still viewing. Now the race is finished. Superb, nice to see, and hope everyone enjoyed that race as much as we did. Austria is such a fun race to be involved in, but as we've just seen, it's also very fun to commentate and race in. Warrior Huntsman with a 105.8. He has fastest lap of today. Big Ben wins it with the Haas. Kogutas in second. Sprunky in third. Tomo Tip Tap Kirant in fifth. All 107s in the fastest lap, and shows you that the pace was quite similar right across the field. But of course there was one with less. That was Warrior Huntsman. Ricconi in sixth between them for the Williams. I'm jumping all over the place here. In eighth is Dat Rowland. Number 9 is Piero 1987. What a year to be born. Number 10 is Murphy. Number 11 is Coelho. Matt Warner, Reverend Melvin, Luke Knock. So every time I see Piero, I always think of Del Piero. just want to say Pierre. So 15th is Shadow Moody for the Renault. MUFC Harvey comes in 16th. Crash, better days at the office with the DNF, and Anthony Stan, devastated for him with the connection problems. We know he has pace, and that will have been a deep cut today. But whew, thank you very, very, very much for joining me once again, Steinschlag. It's been a pleasure. Next week, hopefully, I would love to have you back again next week for race number 7. We go over to Spain for the Spanish Grand Prix. So as we reach the midpoint of the season, which now race 6, race 7 is next. Can you believe how fast the season is going? Just passing us by. Hope everyone's had a good time. Thanks once again to Steiny. We shall see you next week, same time. Subscribe, like, everything, all the rest of the stuff. Twitter, Facebook, anything you can think of. Just join us forever. Okay, thank you very much and take care. We shall see you next week.
Thank you very much, everyone. See you later.